Yeah, you both are on the phone. All right, it's 6:30, so we'll go ahead and start the meeting. First is consideration of change order on ladder fire truck.
Okay, good evening. So we have, this is actually kind of a three-part deal. The first one is the platform that we've ordered is ready for delivery. When we went there, we have another change order to be approved. This second change order that we have is for a total of $26,541.70, and that's going to be a decrease in the original price. So if you look at the bottom, the revised change order number one was $1,393,553.79. Now the final price will be $1,367,412.09.
And what is that for?
On the change order. So basically, what they did was we had a group of three guys that worked on the truck. Went through all of the design, and what they did was basically it's a lot of paint changing. Instead of going to the aluminum or the steel, the chrome inserts on the wheels, we went painted wheels. Some tire changes, suspension changes.
Like tire? I mean, I understand the wheels. Go ahead.
So basically on the tires. So what we did was the truck. We had a choice. We could either have the truck top speed at 70 miles an hour or top speed at 65. We put it to 65, which changed the size of the tire.
You just got shorter tires in. What'd you go, like 22 5s or something?
Yeah, it's on this sheet. I don't know exactly what they are. It just went to a lesser price tire.
You change your speed by the tallness of the tire, I would say. So they probably went from 24 5s to 22 5s.
All right, she's looking for a motion to accept this decrease.
Yep, a motion to accept the second change order, and then there'll be two other.
All right, I'll make that motion to accept the change order.
Second.
They are 22 5s.
Were they 24 5s to start with?
24s and 22. Yeah.
I just see it says 22 5s.
Yep.
Randy Nichols,
Yes.
Lindsey Watts,
Yes.
Pete Allen,
No.
Kevin Allen,
Yes.
Josh Jones.
Yes. All right, B, consideration of payment for ladder fire truck.
So basically, this next one is consideration for payment of the invoice. You'll see on the invoice that you got in your packet, it's got the factory changes. The total price would be $1,367,412.89. The second sheet you have, there's a couple quotes on that, but it is included in this final price. Those two quotes, there's a fitting that we need on the side of our truck to hook up to our 5-inch hose. So we had to add that on. And also the second quote is for harnesses for that basket. The harnesses that we have will stay with the current ladder truck, and those are 27 years old. So we need a different size and type of harness for this platform.
I'm not seeing that, Dave. What page is that?
Is there an 807.48?
First page?
Says
There's three
request
quotes.
to pay invoice for 2021 Pierce Ascendant. You're on the change order. You got 3 different sets of change order there. Yes.
Basically, here's the price of total price of truck included in this is actually the storage connection.
So you guys are kind of glomming in and out.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just explaining the invoices.
They're looking for an invoice. Is this just something that just kind of slipped by the first time needing on the safety harnesses and the 5-inch?
Yeah.
All right, I'll make the motion to for the approval to pay the invoice for that with the two quotes for the two other things that are needed.
Coupler in the
Safety harness.
Yep, I'll second that.
Kevin Allen,
Yes.
Lindsey Watts,
Yes.
Pete Allen,
No, and I want to define the reason why I'm saying no. I feel this truck is being purchased against the wishes of the voters when we have a protest in hand with 500 signatures on it. I feel that the purchase should have never been made.
Randy Nichols,
Yeah, I'll vote yes, because this is a purchase that's absolutely critical to the well-being of the community. Thank you.
Josh Jones,
Yes. C, consideration of donation of current ladder truck.
So this one is a basically we talked about this when we did our engine. This is on the sheet. We made up a letter of intent that we distributed out to the district fire departments throughout Bourbon County, stating that we would like to donate our 93 truck. We did get one letter back from Bourbon County District 3, and they would like to station this truck in Uniontown. And then your third letter is just our letter back saying that we would like to consider that truck to be donated to Bourbon County District 3 Fire Department.
Is there any, I mean, and I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to come off like it's not good to donate something.
Sure.
But is there any monetary, I mean, when we give away something like this, I know they're one of our county members, and I want to help them out all we can. But I feel like in the same breath, we're paying a lot of money for this one. Was there any compensation at all volunteered to have this truck?
Not that I'm aware of. The thing is that it can stay in Bourbon County, and if it's ever needed to help us out, it can always respond as well.
Well, and I understand too, it's like a city county, you know,
Yeah.
we're trying to work good with the county
Yeah.
and the rural fire and things like that.
It looks like about the estimate of the truck's value is about $10,000.
Probably, I think Mike found one reasonable to that was about 18. Arma just bought. Gotcha. Yes. Arma just bought the exact one to from Chanute, Kansas, their fire department. They upgraded their truck to a 100-foot platform, and I think it was 18,000. 10,000. Sorry, 10,000.
Yeah. I think this would be good. District 3, I believe, includes Uniontown, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it'd be good in case of the school, heaven forbid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any of those buildings in Bronson. Yeah. I'll make the motion to accept the request to donate to District 3.
Second.
Can you just second?
Randy Nichols,
Yes.
Kevin Allen,
Yes.
Lindsey Watts, Pete Allen,
Well, I'm going to say no, because if this is an old worn out, unsafe truck as it's been described, I don't want my name associated with this truck if something should happen to whoever we donate it for. So I'll say no.
Josh Jones,
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, D on the agenda, consideration of change order for Eagle Block Building.
Commissioners, I would ask that you table this issue, and I would suggest that you go out for bids on this process.
Are you thinking like I mean, it's still halfway important to get it done quick. Is this something we can do within and come back Friday? Do you think is that time, or are you thinking longer?
Even,
Is
I mean, even we've got a meeting Tuesday, so.
is it?
Next Tuesday.
Next
But-
Tuesday.
But so I would like to see it go out to our local
Right.
plumbers for this portion of the bidding. And
You think?
I would think that they could do that within 72 hours. And so if it goes out tomorrow morning, we got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we would have them at the latest by Friday asking them for Friday at noon. I don't believe that this is a significant way out there from things they've been doing in their careers for quite a while. Installing this item in basements is very typical. In houses, it's very typical. We're talking about a sump pump. The French drain is not, but that we're only talking about the plumbing portion of this, which would be the sump pump and the connection thereof.
Okay, so is this going to be, is there a set of specs drawn for it yet? Or, I mean, are they going to know exactly what they're bidding, or are they just going to bid a sump pump and a drain line?
Excellent point. No, there's not a set of specs for this. So we can have something drawn up for them to come in and pick up tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's important that we get with whoever we need to, and if we have to check with the plumbing board or what have you. Jason, are you on the phone?
I don't think so.
So if we have the
Yeah.
Oh, Jason.
yeah, and as long as that's included in our engineering money we're already spending every month, I don't want to go to another great expense by drawing this up, but I think it's important that we have, because these plumbers are going to want to know, are we using Schedule 80, Schedule 40? Is it 1 inch, 2 inch, a quarter horsepower, a 2 horsepower? They're going to want to know some particulars about what they're bidding rather than just to come up there and start throwing numbers at a garden hose on a sump pump sticking out there.
Jason, do you have any input to that for us?
Well, I think the main concern is, timing wise, if the intent was for the backfill operation to start this week, which is why we wanted to try to get this under a change order with the current contract. And we understand the deal with, we want a plumber to do the sump pump. They don't necessarily have to be the ones doing the foundation drain. And that was the goal, was to be able to get that in the ground and through the basement wall so that the backfill could start.
Jason, I think the question was, can you have a sheet put together by tomorrow morning of what this would look like until to send out the bid?
Not really, not by tomorrow morning.
How did we get, so if we don't have nothing drawn up, how did we get this price from this change order?
Well, the intent is that, I think Mark might have touched on it briefly, it's a standard sump pump like you would have in your house. Because typically if you build a house and they want a foundation drain, that perforated pipe wraps around the entire foundation and goes to one single sump pump.
So so the motor on the sump pump or the size of the pipe is no concern for you?
No, there's no, like I said, it's not a special design. It's a standard setup. And the drain we're trying to put outside the wall, again, typical. You're trying to drain the foundation.
So, I mean, here's what I envision, Jason. The whole time when we was talking about this, I've done quite a bit of below grade work, and before you backfill, one of the things we talked about. Would you agree that when we did this demolition, one of the things that we talked with the demolition contractor that we secured was punching several holes in the floor of the basement?
Correct. He's aware of that, and the first thing he's doing is that when it gets mobilized again.
Okay. And then, so after that, the next step in my world where I'm thinking is you got to come up beside that, what's going to be the south wall of Sharky's, and you're going to have to remove that concrete down through there to get below what they call the cold joint in the floor. And that's going to have a clean filter rock placed in it before you even place a perforated pipe on top of it, would it not?
Correct.
Okay. And then as you go down there, that perforated pipe is going to lead down then also to a, let's say, just for argument's sake, what would you suggest? Probably a 3-foot whistle standing on its end that'll have 2 cutouts at the bottom of it. and then your perforated pipe will run into the bottom of that.
Are you talking about getting it into the basement?
Now I'm talking about we're still on the. I'm going to be on the south wall on the outside of whether it be Sharky's in that area or Mark and I spoke a little earlier. It could actually go possibly behind Sharky's to place that in there to where you're capturing that water on the outside of the building rather than on the inside of Sharky's basement. You're gonna. I would think the ultimate goal would be to capture all the rainwater before it got into the facility.
Yeah, the issue with that really, and it has been discussed before, you know, that even just the sump pump that existed previously was in the CDO building. It did not include any foundation drain. It was simply a sump that was pumping water. Once it rains, with your rock, that area, groundwater level rises, and it's there to keep the CDL basement dry. So now, you know, that whole parcel, you know, all the improvements we do there, it's not even on Sharky's property. But we're benefiting the Sharky's building, which ultimately may be fine, but the reason we want to not put a sump pump out there is it's not the same property owner.
Well, I understand that, and the only thing we came up with is if it's not going to be available to be on that person's property, is possibly if that person allows us to go ahead and put the perimeter drain below the footing, like we talked about, the gravel then sneaks around the corner on the west side and then back to behind Sharky's facility onto their property, and the pump could be put in there if the pump is going to be benefiting keeping water away from them. That was just my thought. I feel like, I mean, we've always done that. We always try to cure water from the outside before it gets in rather than to address it once it gets into the basement. I'd rather keep the water out of Sharky's basement rather than to even come close to allow it to come in there and then get in the pump. You know, I envisioned catching on the outside.
Right, and I understand that. Now you're doing it outside like that is, you've got a pretty deep hit to your pump. So that increases some things, but
Yeah, I understand it. It would increase. What was it going to be, about a 10-foot shove up the hill?
yeah, give or take.
Right. And is there a place to run that water once we got? Is there a storm sewer back there that we're going to plug into?
Yeah, once you pump that water up out of there, it can be surface water. It has to be kept underground to a storm sewer. So it just needs to be pumped essentially into the alley. Which is how it was before. The CDL sump pump went through that back wall and just drained onto the ground.
Right. I understand that, but I think, and I'm not positive about this part, but I think there's a code that says that we can't do that. I may be wrong. Can we put it out in the alley? So if we do that, I mean, my only question is if we do that and if there's a storm and it thaws and we're pumping water out in the alley and it freezes, I just don't know if that's
Well, it's just like your drains off your roof.
gutters.
Gutters. I mean, water's going to come out, it'll freeze the same on it.
It's rain runoff. That's essentially what it is. I mean,
Yeah. So, Mark, I mean, do you think 48 hours is enough time based off what the engineer's saying? Or do you think we need a little bit longer if we go out to bid?
I had said 72
Or
hours.
72 hours, sorry.
Yeah, I still think that, and I'll personally call the plumbers
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Cool.
Do we need to call more than 3?
I would just
I would-
call whatever ones are in town.
I would
Just
like to
make it-
do that, and I would like to put it on the website or however we can put it out there that we're looking for bids.
We can put it on Facebook and also on the webpage.
Yeah. I think if you're going to call the local ones as well, that would be, so I'll make the motion to go out to bid. Bids due back noon on Friday.
I'll second it.
don't know, what was that?
Lindsay Watts,
Yes.
Randy Nichols,
Diane, I couldn't hear the conversation. We're voting to
we're voting to table this right now and go out for bid to local plumbers for the installation of this sump pump.
yeah, I'm gonna abstain just because I couldn't hear the conversation. We'll have to know all the details.
Abstain.
Oh, abstain, sorry, I didn't hear him say that. Kevin Allen,
Yes.
Josh Jones,
Yes.
Pete Allen,
Yes.
sorry, Pete, I missed you.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yep, Diane,
Yes,
can you hear me? So in that conversation, is there another meeting planned?
noon on Friday, well, the bids are due noon on Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would say we'd
You'll
have
text
a,
me, yeah, you'll text me, let me know what we're doing, right?
Yes. I'll
Okay.
let you
All
know.
right, thanks a lot.
Okay,
yeah, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Kevin Allen,
Yes.
Pete Allen,
Yes.
Randy Nichols.
Yes.
We're adjourning. Lindsay Watts,
Yes.
Josh Jones.
Yes.